Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
His authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
In today's hearing, the defendant listed in court records as Matthew Aldridge refused to acknowledge his legal name. Instead, he identified himself as an attorney in fact, a title that carries no legal standing in this context. Many sovereign citizens, he argued that the court lacked authority over him. However, courts have clear jurisdiction over individuals within their geographic and legal boundaries. The judge made that point firmly, cutting through the confusion and bringing the hearing back on track. Here's how it all unfolded. Asterisk.
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent mayor.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not at this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't you court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me.
Have a copy of it.
Oh, apparently there's a copy here.
The defendant claimed to be an attorney in fact and submitted a document quoting a law that, in reality, doesn't exist. Though it wasn't shown on camera, the paperwork appeared to be self-written and lacked any legal basis for clarity. Licensed attorneys must meet state requirements and follow official legal procedures. Simply printing a form doesn't grant someone legal authority. Sovereign citizen arguments like this, especially those challenging jurisdiction, have no standing in court. Declaring oneself above the law doesn't make it true. Courts operate under established legal systems, not personal interpretations. These types of cases do seem to be appearing more frequently. Let's see how the judge handles it from here. Asterisk.
Well, I find that Matthew Neal Aldridge has failed to appear personally in this court for the plea day on his case, which is set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neal Aldridge. If you are in fact Matthew Neal Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee, and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Is that an Article 3 trial?
To what?
Will that be an Article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury, certainly it would be. but I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right, to Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be altered,
The judge remained calm and composed throughout the hearing, quickly addressing each of the defendant's attorney-in-fact claims and clarifying that they held no legal weight. It was clear he had encountered these arguments before, especially when the defendant began referencing laws that didn't actually exist. A brief moment of dry humor surfaced when the judge pointed out the defendant couldn't even state his own name, subtle but effective. From the beginning, the judge made it clear the courtroom wouldn't be derailed. In the end, it highlighted how ineffective these sovereign citizen tactics truly are.
Then we will set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are in fact Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment of the court. You need to take your piece of paper and go on about your business.
Sovereign citizens are individuals who claim they're not subject to U.S. law by rejecting the government's authority. They often reference terms like common law or the Uniform Commercial Code, usually without understanding how the legal system actually works. U.S. courts operate under federal, state, and local laws rooted in the Constitution. There's no legal loophole that allows someone to simply opt out. These arguments routinely appear in court but rarely succeed, often leading to criminal charges instead. At the center of this issue is jurisdiction. Courts have the authority to hear cases involving anyone within their legal boundaries, regardless of personal beliefs. Judges recognize these tactics and don't engage with them. Despite this, some still use these arguments to avoid taxes or penalties, but it usually results in harsher outcomes. Whether it's confusion or defiance, the strategy rarely works and often causes more harm than good. Let's see how this mindset continues to play out in the courtroom. Asterisk.